People think all I eat is meat, butter, cream, cheese, sugar and chocolate. Yeah, I do eat all those things, but I do like to eat some healthy food as well, at least once a week. And this is a really nice, healthy soup that you can make at home. I call it my borscht, but it's got some of my favourite ingredients. Quick and easy to make. You can pop some in the freezer, but here's how it starts. I've got my pot on already, and I've got a white onion that I'll slice into thin pieces. This is a really nice soup. It's a little bit sweet, it's a little bit sour, and got lots and lots of flavour. Now, borscht is a Russian soup made with lots of beetroot and cabbage, and it's got lots of nutrition in it to get you through those cold Russian winter nights. Now, the onion I've diced nice and fine like this, and it's just a matter of throwing it into the pot. We want to sweat it all down nicely. But there's going to be a lot of spice in here as well. Garlic is really important, and I'll leave the garlic nice and chunky. Now, celery is also a really important ingredient. And what I like to do with the celery, line it all up, and then it's just a matter of cutting it like this, so you get these lovely squares. Now, usually with borscht, they puree the soup. But for me, I like to keep it a little bit chunky. So when you put your spoon in there and pick it up, you get all those lovely vegetables in here. Now, of course, if you want to add some sausage or some ham or some bacon, you can do that as well. But this is a really simple way of doing it. Now, I've got my pot on and it's nice and hot. So I'll just throw my onion, garlic and celery straight in the bottom. They all build the flavours up. And if you sweat them off gently in a pot with some olive oil or butter or duck fat or bacon fat, you know it's going to taste really good. I've also put some salt in there, and while I'm here, I'll start off with some pepper as well. Now I'm going to start adding some spices here. I'm adding cayenne pepper. I love cayenne pepper, but if you're feeding this to kids, maybe hold back on it because it is quite hot. Some smoked paprika goes in there as well, some dried mint, some allspice, and then one of my favourite spices, caraway seeds. And I'm using them whole because I want them to go all the way through. These are very, very nice spices, and they give it a really nice flavour as well. And once you sweat them off in the olive oil like this, they really become quite pungent, and that's what I'm looking for. Now, cabbage is one of my favourite things, and I'm using red cabbage here, and I'm just going to cut through it. The other thing you'll notice is I've got the cabbage flat on the board. Really important. If you're cutting cabbage, you don't want it rolling around on you while you're cutting it with a sharp knife. Now, once you've got it like this, it's just a matter of going around the cabbage so you get all these tiny little diced pieces here. As you can see, I like to keep all the shapes fairly similar. It just makes the soup look nice and pretty. The cabbage is full of vitamin C and lots of nutrition. And in the old days, the pirates and the sailors ate a lot of cabbage so they wouldn't get scurvy. So stir that around like this, and this is starting to come together beautifully. Now, another ingredient I like to add is sauerkraut. I've got about half a cup of sauerkraut here. I just love that sour flavour. I've got it straight out of the jar, and what I'll do is just slice it through the middle here. I want tiny little pieces of sauerkraut all the way through this. So in this goes as well. And to add to that sour flavour, I've got vinegar. About a quarter of a cup of vinegar in here. That will really sharpen it up. Now this is what borscht is all about, beetroot. I'm using fresh beetroot that I've peeled and diced up. And when it's cut small like this, it'll cook quickly as well. Now the flavour coming off this pot is amazing. That sharpness of the sauerkraut and the vinegar is working really well. In goes the beetroot, and I'll make sure I get all of it out of here. Now stirring that around like this, you can see it's all starting to come together. Now all I need to do is add some stock. I've got a couple of litres of stock here. In it goes. I'm using chicken stock, you can use vegetable stock, or if you don't have any stock, you can just use water. There will be plenty of flavour in here. Now, I'll let this simmer away for about 20 to 30 minutes, and I'll be eating a beautiful borscht soup. Have a look at it. The colour is amazing. Now, I've left my borscht nice and chunky. You can puree it up if you want, but for me, this is the way I like it. Look at that, plenty of goodness in there and some of that liquid over the top. The liquid's going to hold all of the flavour. And a big bowl of this, you know it's going to fill you up. I'll put some sour cream on here, which you know is going to make it taste even better. And why not sprinkle some dill and chives over the top there. Looks great. That colour is amazing. And I'll pick up some of that. I can really get those sour notes, the sauerkraut and the vinegar, but all together it's a really sweet, tasty soup. Quite savoury, but the sharpness makes it all come together beautifully. If you haven't tried this soup before, give it a go. You'll like it.